Hello everyone, it's Matt, Comic Order 410, here doing a video because not only did my good buddy Michael Jocko tag me for a Q&A vid, he sent me a nice package of books in the mail last week, and I'll start with the books. Michael gets some good deals. He goes to these warehouse sales near where he lives, and he knew I needed some of these books, and he found them for a real reasonable deal, so he grabbed them for me, and I'm going to try and pull out some books here next week or so, Michael. I've told you I'm going to a sale probably next week, so I'll get some books together and get in touch with you, man. But yeah, before I even got books together to trade Michael, he was nice enough to send me these. So very much appreciate that, Michael. First book, Vampire Lestat #2. A few months back, I did a trade with Michael, and he got me, I believe it was like number 7 through 12 of Vampire Lestat. And now with this issue #2, that completes my run of this book, and I'm very grateful for your help with that, Michael. These books were not very hugely valuable, but when they came out in the 90s, they were really hot, and #1 was going for around $50. They've since gone down a good bit, and nobody talks about them anymore, but at least where I live, these books are very hard to find in the wild, so I very much appreciate your help with that, and I have that run completed thanks to you. Next up, Michael, as most of you know, Michael knows I'm a big fan of Akira, and he's helped me so much putting this run together. I have #2, but it's my copy I've had, since I was in middle school, and it's not near mint. So Michael helped me get a near mint upgrade of Akira 2, and he also helped me get a near mint upgrade of #1. I did a video not too long ago, so thank you very much for that. He also found at this warehouse sale Akira 22, number 24, number 27, and number 28. So, thanks to Michael, I now only need 2 issues of Epic Akira, or the Epic run of Akira, to have that completed. So, I can't thank you enough for all your help, Michael. Really appreciate it. Everyone, there's a link below to Michael's channel. Please go check him out and give him a sub if you haven't yet. He's a great guy. Next up are the questions. Michael said, what 2 heroes or villains would you put together for a dream fight, and how would it go down? It's really hard to say. Excuse me, there's a lot I'd like to see. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing like Conan fight Warlord, but I know nobody else really wants to see stuff like that. I always thought a good villain fight, a good crossover, would be Thanos versus Darkseid. And I think that would be good, especially you get the right creative team on it, and you could tie in, a lot of the cosmic characters from Marvel and, the Fourth World guys from DC, and that could be a really cool read. And, that's a tough fight to call. If Thanos didn't have the Infinity Gauntlet, I'd have to give the edge to Darkseid. But that would be a great fight, and I'd love to read that. Put Jim Starlin on that book. Next question. What's the best tearjerker story in comics? And I'd really have to sit down and think about this one, but I picked out the book that popped into my mind the second that I read that question. And that is Amazing Spider-Man 248. It says, in this issue, meet the Kid Who Collects Spider-Man. To me, the Kid Who Collects Spider-Man is one of the best tearjerker stories ever in comics. Brilliantly executed. And if my memory serves me correct, it's been a while since I read it. If my memory serves me correct, I think might be the backup story in this issue, even though it's a cover. I might be wrong about that. But if it is the backup story, it's also one of the best backup stories in comic history. Not going to ruin the story for you. Pick it up and read it. You will not regret it. Third question, what's your top recommended comic to read right now? And it's hard for me to say, but I'll recommend some old and new that I like that maybe a lot of people aren't reading. Because, there's books like Saga that everyone should be reading. And obviously Scott Snyder's Batman run has been one of the best in the past few years. But books I'd recommend to read, obviously Akira, which Michael just helped me with. I think everybody should read that as well as watch the anime. Current books, I'm really liking Punisher from Marvel and Rocket Raccoon from Marvel. Although I'm probably pulling the least amount of Marvel books I've pulled in the past 20 years, I think Scotty Young's doing a phenomenal job with Rocket Raccoon. He wrote a story real quick. He wrote a story earlier, maybe about 4 or 5 issues ago, where it's Rocket and Groot sitting around a campfire with some other alien creatures, and they want to know the story of their recent escapade. And Rocket tells Groot, "Oh, why don't you tell the story?" And it does a flashback. And since it's Groot telling the story, all the dialogue, every bit of text in this whole story after or during the flashback scene, it all is, "I am Groot, I am Groot." But Scotty Young's visual storytelling is so good in that issue that he conveys the whole story visually. And I just thought it was brilliant. And really, that book's been a really great surprise for me. So I really like Scotty Young's Rocket Raccoon. Also been reading Avatar Press's Uber. Really like that book. I feel like it's kind of going, slowed down a little bit. The story probably is about to pick up, but definitely the first few storylines or first few trades are awesome. Also like Valiant's Rye by Matt Kint, and with the beautiful painted interior by Clayton Crane. That book is a pleasure to read. And Eric Powell's Goon is always good, and it may be coming to an end soon. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, thank you once again, Michael, for tagging me and for all these books. Please go check them out and give them a sub. The link's below. This tag's been going on for a while, so I don't know exactly who all's been tagged, so I'll just do the generic cheap way out and say I tag anybody who feels like making a video. And again, the questions are, what 2 heroes or villains would you pick for a dream fight, and how would it go down? Second question, what do you think the best tearjerker is in comics? Third question, what are your top recommended comics to read? So again, thank you to Michael Jocko. Appreciate it, my friend. Everyone else, thank you for taking the time to stop by. I always appreciate your time. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and enjoy your comics.